Alright, y'all, back again with another review. This time I'm reviewing the Hasbro Pulse Exclusive Retro Spider-Man versus Vulture VHS pack. Right here. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, here's the package. I ordered two by accident because, of course, here's the package. I mean, you already know what it is. Anyways, so last week Hasbro had their post-con and they had a whole bunch of figures go up for pre-order, and I didn't realize this figure was actually available in stock at the time. So I pre-ordered a bunch of figures, the Secret Wars wave, a bunch of G.I. Joe classified series, and this. And then I realized, oh, it's in stock. But I didn't get charged for it initially. When you buy something in stock, they charge you immediately. I checked my bank and it didn't get charged. So I figured, okay, something went wrong. So I ordered another one. And then realized I got charged twice, which is cool because, I don't mind having two of these. So anyways, let's get to the review. Now, initially, I thought from the pictures that this figure was on the Renew Your Vows body. Because it was a digital render. Then I realized, okay, maybe it's the Amazing Fantasy / Amazing Friends / animated Walmart exclusive body. Then realized it's the Sunfire body. And which is kind of funny because when the Pizza Spider body came out almost a decade ago, I think 2015, 2014, around that time, years later, people in the online community were like, we want to go to the Sunfire body, and we got the Sunfire body, but this is after we got the Spider-Man on the retro card back in 2020, and then the Renew Your Vows body in 2022, and the Amazing Fantasy body. So it was a kind of disappointment because, this, don't get me wrong, I like this figure, I like this body, but I think we should have gotten at least on the Amazing Fantasy body. The articulation is the same on this guy. Only difference is that it is pinless. The Sunfire body that came out was in 2017. It was not pinless. So that's a good thing about this. It's pinless. It's got the butterfly joints. So there really isn't much difference between this body and the other Sunfire bodies. It's just, this is pinless. There's no sculpted details. Only thing that's sculpted is just the mask. I think it's the same head that came with the animated Spider-Man figure from Walmart. And so, yeah, there's not really much difference. Here, the accessories. And I don't know why Hasbro does this. They continually do this. They did this with the retro Spider-Man body. They didn't include wall crawling hands. So these are the fists. Of course, he comes with the two thwip hands, left and right. Yeah, you can see those. He comes with two grabbing hands. This is a first, I think, for Spider-Man figures. He comes with two grabbing hands. He comes with this unmasked, which this is actually cool because I don't think we've gotten this before with Marvel Legends Spider-Man. I know Mafex has a mask like this, and I think the one of the Marvel Select Spider-Mans also came with this, so this is cool. And we get this animated Peter Parker head, which is cool. Can't really focus, sorry. And I'll compare with the other one. So it comes with that, and then it comes with this Flash Thompson head, which, come on, focus. So you can tell I'm not a professional reviewer like The Amazing and Charlemagne. Shout out to those guys. Yeah, so that was a pretty cool feature they gave, giving this figure. Pop it off. So Flash Thompson. Now, I don't know the context of this because obviously this is based on the animated series. I don't know if there was an episode because it's been so long since I watched the animated series. I don't know the context of it. I know in the comics, Flash Thompson was a big Spider-Man fan. And it's the irony because he bullied Peter Parker, but he was a big Spider-Man fan. So I don't know the context why they gave this Flash Thompson head, which I don't have a problem with it because the more civilian heads, the better. But yeah, that's cool. But anyways, take this off, put the Peter Parker head on. If I can get him to stand. There we go. So that's the Peter Parker head, the animated Peter Parker head. And I just now noticed this, but the ball, I don't know if this is the same ball hinge as the Sunfire body. Come on, focus. I don't know if it's different. I don't have a Sunfire body around me, so I can't really tell. But yeah, but anyways, getting back to what I was saying before, I don't know why Hasbro, when they make these Spider-Man figures, they don't give him flipping hands. Or not flipping, I'm sorry, wall crawling hands. I mean, that should be standard for every Spider-Man figure. It's like 2 fists, 2 whipping hands, and wall crawling hands. That's what Spider-Man does. He crawls the walls. So I don't know what their logic was. They weren't thinking, but it's like it seemed like they always do something like this. And I guess their justification was, well, we gave you some grabbing hands, but come on, you have plenty of whipping or plenty of wall crawling hands. I could have did that. All right, so I'm gonna compare it with the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. Here he is. This was in a 2-pack with Mary Jane or Spinnerette back in 2022 to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Spider-Man. As you can see, the Renew Your Vows body is slightly bigger than, or they might be the same height. It might be the same height as the Sunfire body. Yeah, the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man is a little bit bigger than this one. And this is in the back. This thing sucks because it has that hole in the back. So breaks up the paint work. But as you can see, and let's see if the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man head can go on the Sunfire body. It does. It's a tight fit. It looks good. The red on the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, it's a little bit darker. I mean, you probably can't tell on the video, but in person, it's a little bit darker. But it looks good. It's cool. And since I had this Renew Your Vows Spider-Man here, he came with some wall crawling hands, so let's see if those wall crawling hands can fit on this VHS Spider-Man. So here are the wall crawling hands from the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. Let's see if they fit. And they do. They do. The reds don't completely match, but if you're doing ACBA, you can't tell. Really, you have to really look at the figure to really tell if the reds match. Actually, you know what? The reds actually do match. Now, the Renew Your Vows hands, it's a little bit darker, but unless you're really paying attention, you won't notice. So yeah, again, I don't know what Hasbro their thinking is, or they're not thinking. I mean, I guess their justification because they gave him some holding hands to hold that mask, but come on, you got to give Spider-Man his wall crawling hands. That's what you got to do. And while I'm here, let me just see if this animated Parker head can fit on the Renew Your Vows. And yeah, he does. Let's see if the Flash Thompson head fits on. And yeah, it does. Fits pretty good. All right, so let me move this Renew Your Vows body out the way. And let's go to another Spider-Man we have here. This is the retro carded Spider-Man. And to me, this is still my favorite Spider-Man figure. I know a lot of people, they love the Renew Your Vows body, and I like it too, but for some reason, I just have a soft spot for this Spider-Man. And as you can see, I think these two are about the same height. Yeah, they're about the same height. Yeah, obviously, this figure has its flaws, but I mean, it has the pin joints or whatever. But I mean, I still like the Spider-Man. It's still one of my favorites in my collection. I mean, and to me, this Spider-Man represents like the Bronze Age Spider-Man, like the 80s Spider-Man, late 70s. The Renew Your Vows is like modern, basically from the 2000s on forward. But this Spider-Man will probably be the Spider-Man in my collection or my display or when I do toy photography for the Bronze Age Spider-Man. That's my favorite era of Spider-Man, Bronze Age, post Gwen Stacy death. That's my favorite era of Spider-Man. So, all right, that's the retro carded Spider-Man. And as far as this release, I think Hasbro should have just did this Spider-Man. This is the Walmart exclusive animated series Spider-Man. That was super hard to get with the cell shading. I think they should have went with this. Either just do a straight up re-release of the Spider-Man, or maybe do release this figure without the shell shading, because there's no shell shading on this figure. This is the Amazing Fantasy body. And this is based upon a teenage Spider-Man, so he's going to be shorter than pretty much most Spider-Man figures. And the heads are the same, but actually they're not the same, because I didn't realize this animated Spider-Man, the eyes are not sculpted. The eyes are sculpted on this Spider-Man. So that's actually a surprise. And I'm not going to switch heads because this body is clearly smaller than this one, and this head is bigger, so it's going to look ridiculous. And speaking of this Spider-Man, it was hard to get on Walmart because when it went for pre-order, it instantly sold out. Was not able to get it. So this Spider-Man is actually a bootleg from AliExpress. I bought him, I think last year, like $20-something, or maybe a little bit less than that. And I don't have the I don't have the authentic figures, so I can't compare. But I mean, if you don't want to pay, $50-something or whatever for the authentic figure, go with the AliExpress. As far as I can tell, there's no problem with this figure. I mean, it's a KO, so I'm not going to dwell too much into it. But yeah, there's that Spider-Man. Then this is the retro carded Peter Parker Spider-Man. And as you can see, Spider-Man is a little bit taller than this retro carded Peter Parker. Or actually, no, they're about the same height. Yeah, about the same height. And I want to see something here. If we can put the anime series body or head, and it actually fits good. But the skin tones are not matching. You probably can't tell on camera, but they really don't match. This skin tone actually on this animated head is like it's a weird color, it's weird. It doesn't match. So you probably really can't tell on the video, but yeah, they're not a good match. So that's that figure. Or actually, let me put this Flash Thompson head on. Yeah, this Flash Thompson head is a little bit too big. But, I mean, if you want to have some civilian characters, then that's cool. But, yeah, that's too big. Okay. Some other figures to compare. This is the VHS. This came with the Alistair Smite. This is the civilian Peter Parker. This is based upon the clothes he wore in the animated series from the second season on forward. So, yeah, you want to have civilian Peter Parker. And like I said, with the heads, like this head, this newer one is like, it's a weird color. It's like, I don't know what's up with that. But doing it for giggles if you want to see how this looks. I mean, they're the same head. It's just, this one is, I don't know what's up with this one. I mean, honestly, I'll probably use this one, this head on that figure, because the color is just, I don't know. Once you see the figure in person, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the paints don't really match up. And while I'm here, let's see if this one matches up. And yeah, that looks good. That looks good. I will use this Peter Parker head on this one. And I got two of these, so I can, you know, spare it. So yeah, I don't know what Hasbro was thinking with this head, because the paint is just, if you would focus, yeah, the paint is just, it's weird. Oops, sorry. All right, so a few more comparisons, then I'll get to the Vulture figure. We got sweet old Aunt May. And the look she has is like a worried look, kind of like, ugh, kind of look. This is how she appeared in it. She can stand. That's a problem with Marvel female figures, is getting on the stand. Well, I'm just going to hold her up. So, as you can see, Aunt May is shorter as she should be. But, yeah. So, I'm hoping we get a comic Aunt May, or at least a Marissa Tomei Aunt May from the MCU. Maybe it's a licensing issue with her, why we haven't got one. But that would be cool if we got a Marissa Tomei Aunt May figure. Okay. And now the last one is Mary Jane, as she appeared in the animated series with the cowboy boots and purple pants and yellow shirt. If she would stand. So, as you can see, she's shorter than Spider-Man. She should be. So, this is pretty cool. Yeah. So, that's the first part of this review. Now we're going to go to the Vulture review. Stay tuned. All right, now we're back with the Vulture review of this part of the review. This is based upon his animated series look. I know in the comics he wore this outfit for a time when he was younger. Trying to fix my camera, my tripod. Yeah, this is how he looked in the anime series, brief time in the 90s. I didn't have this version of Vulture as a kid, the Toy Biz 5-inch figure, because we never saw them in the stores. And back in the 90s, if you didn't see a figure in the store, you didn't get that figure. I mean, there wasn't any specialty shops. There were comic book shops, obviously, but back in the days, I didn't get comic books in the comic book shop. I got them at Walmart. If you're in the Dallas Metroplex, that's where I used to live back then, at a store called Tom Thumb. And I'm in Houston now, It's called Randall's down here, so, or a convenience store like a 7-Eleven. But as a kid in the 90s, that's where I got my comics. I didn't get them from comic book shops or whatever, so if you didn't see a toy in this toy store, you probably weren't going to get it. And eBay was around, but it really wasn't the eBay like we have now. So anyway, so yeah, I never had this version of Vulture as a kid. Like I said, he did appear like this in the 90s in this costume, but to me, Vulture is always going to be the classic Vulture, the old man. Anyways, enough of that. These are the same wings that came with the Vulture from the Demo Goblin Build-A-Wave, as well as I believe Falcon. And this body, I don't know what body it uses. Maybe somebody can give in the comments can tell me. It's pinless. You don't see any pins on the legs or on the arms. These straps are not. They can be removed. I mean, they're on there tight, but if you warm them up, you can probably remove them. I don't know why you would, but they're not sculpted onto the figure. So yeah, if you actually no, I take that back. Actually, no, I was wrong. They are sculpted onto the figure, at least on the legs. The belt, it's not sculpted on. It can be removed. Why would you want to remove it? I don't know. The armor is not molded on. It can be removed as well, or at least parts of it. Parts of it are molded or whatever, but yeah, again, why would you want to remove it? This gun does not come out. You've seen these wings, like I said, they were on the Vulture from the Demo Goblin wave and from Falcon, so only difference is they're green. There's some slight butterfly joints, but not a whole lot. So, you know, if you want to get Vulture into some flying poses, you can. But I mean, again, I don't know what body mold this is. It's not the Vulcan body because it's a little bit too smaller, or maybe it might be. I don't know. I don't think so. But maybe somebody in the comments can tell me. But this is how Vulture was in the 90s in the animated series, because during the episodes in the 90s, it's been a while since I watched this, but he was able to take the youth from people and become young, because Vulture is traditionally a senior citizen. And look at this head sculpt. Handsome guy. Yeah. I think in the comic or in the cartoon, his hair was darker, or maybe it's the same color. I don't know. But this is the young head sculpt. But in the cartoon, I think in the comics as well, Vulture was able to steal the youth from people. So that's how he's young. That's how he looks now. He comes with 2 fists, and he comes with 2 grabbing hands. Oh, dropped it. Oh, sorry. Let me reach down and get it. Comes with 2 grabbing hands, and he comes with this old Vulture head. So this is, and he doesn't really look too old here. I mean, he looks old, but not old. Like when I picture Vulture, I picture him in his 70s or something like that, you know, or whatever. But so, and I think what it would have been better, instead of giving us a Peter Parker head or the Flash Thompson head, or even a dish, they should have gave us an old Peter Parker head, because I know, you know, he took Peter's youth in the comics as well in the cartoon for brief time, and that would have been cool. So either replace the young Peter Parker head with the old Peter Parker head, or the Flash Thompson head, or just give us the heads, all 3. Don't be cheap, Hasbro. So here is the Vulture. I'm gonna compare him to the Demo Goblin Vulture that came out years ago, and it's on the old pizza Spidey body, and it's gonna be hard to get this guy to stand because, oh, hold on, sorry. Yeah, this Peter Pizza Spider body is old. It's showing its age. Like I said, it came out like in 2015, 9 years ago. So it's showing its age. But yeah, this Vulture, for you already know. If you are watching this video, you probably had this guy, so you know. Yeah. So this Vulture is smaller than and it should be, because this is the youthful Vulture, this is the old Vulture, and it's also comic book based, as anime based. So yeah, this is the Vulture I prefer, not this body. Hopefully we get a new Vulture sometime in the line based on his older appearance or original appearance. Hopefully on the Amazing Fantasy body. Let's see how he looks with this old head sculpt. Get it. So it does fit. You gotta kind of shove it in. The skin tones don't really match. I mean, you can't probably tell in the video, but they don't really match. But I do like this old head sculpt for Vulture. Got the age spots. So, creepy old man Vulture. So, and let's see how he looks on this. I don't know why you want to put this head sculpt on here, but yeah. Focus, focus, focus. Sorry guys, I'm not a professional, but there we go. So yeah, again, why would you want to put this head sculpt on that Vulture? I don't know. All right, let's try this head sculpt. So, yeah, there we go. So, again, why would you want to use this head sculpt on the newer one? I don't know, but do what you want to do. So, that is that. And then I got one more comparison. This is still my favorite Vulture figure. It's very old. I think this Vulture might be 20 years old or close to it. It's the old Toy Biz Vulture. If I can get him to stand. You're probably not going to be able to get him to stand. Come on, stand. Anyways. He's not going to stand. But this is still my favorite Vulture. I still keep him. This is from Toy Biz. I believe the Spider-Man Classics line. It's just a good figure. Even though I don't like, because it still has the old, ugly Toy Biz and early Hasbro ball jointed hips. I hate those hips. Yeah, this Vulture is still my favorite. A lot of the Toy Biz Spider-Man villains still hold up to me, in my opinion. I still have a lot of them in my collection. I have the Hobgoblin figure from Toy Biz, the Spider-Man Classics. The Hobgoblin, the Green Goblin. Not the Green Goblin, it was from the Marvel Legends series. I forgot which series, but I still have that Green Goblin. I still have Sandman from the Spider-Man Classics. Obviously still have Vulture. Rhino from the, I think the Lethal Foes of Spider-Man or Fearsome Foes. It was an old Toy Biz Legend scale Rhino. Yeah, I still have that figure. I mentioned Hobgoblin, I believe. Yeah. So, yeah, Scorpion. I have both Scorpions that Hasbro released, but I also still have the old Toy Biz one from the Spider-Man Classics. They still hold up, and until Hasbro makes a superior figure, I won't give them up. But yeah, so this Vulture, I just like this figure. I mean, you look at him, it's like an old man. This is how I picture Vulture. Old man in his 70s, 80s, you know. Look at the detail of this figure. This just looks so unique. You know, I don't think they ever use his body, but that's kind of one of the reasons why Toy Biz went out of business, because so much unique sculpting and all that. I know people complain about the reuse with Hasbro, but all toy companies do re-releases. They use the same bodies. It's a standard practice in toys. So anyways, so that's my little review. Again, as a 90s baby, as a child of the 90s, I'm loving these retro figures. I mean, this brings back memories of childhood. I mean, us 90s kids, we had it good when it came to anime series. We had Batman the animated series, we had Spider-Man the animated series, Fantastic Four, Iron Man, those first two seasons. The second season of both series, because the first ones weren't that good. We had the Incredible Hulk series. We had Superman the animated series. So if you were a Marvel and DC comic fan, we had it good as kids in the 90s. And now we're getting these retro figures and these figures of our childhood figures from these companies. And this is a slight little rant. I hate to do this, but I mean, a lot of us were millennials, older millennials, younger millennials, maybe a few Gen X's or Gen Z's, maybe some Gen Z's. But I mean, Hasbro is not perfect, but the complaining I see when it comes to Hasbro is ridiculous. If you're in the Marvel Legends groups, if you are on Instagram or whatever, you see the comments and stuff from people, and it's like, these figures, they're not perfect. Like this figure, I mean, I complained about them earlier, but I still like the figure. They're not perfect, but just look at the figures we're getting now compared to how it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you know, especially 30 years ago in the 90s. You know, we weren't getting these types of quality figures. Yes, they're not perfect, but the articulation is good. You know, we're in a good time for action figures for us as adults. And it's funny because as kids, we didn't care about some of the stuff we complain about. But you have people 30-something-year-old, 40-something, 50-something, whining and complaining about the smallest things. And I'm not saying you got to kiss Hasbro's ass or McFarlane Toys ass, but appreciate what we got, because these are good figures. Yes, the price could be lower, but I mean, the amount of money people spend on action figures is like, y'all complain about $25 figures when you guys have like a whole room full of toys, imports, Marvel Legends, Hot Toys, you know, 1/6 scale figures, and you're complaining about $25 domestic figures. I mean, again, they're not perfect. You know, Hasbro can do better, but for what we get, I think we're in a good age for toys. And I just, you know, appreciate them for what we got. I mean, kids aren't really picky about stuff like this. They just see Spider-Man, Batman, or whatever. He looks cool. But adults were the ones whining about it. But just enjoy toys, man. I mean, these are action figures at the end of the day. These are not life's necessary things that you need in life. You just enjoy them. So thank you for watching this video. I do appreciate everybody who watches. Even if I only get 2 watches and 2 likes, 1 comment, 1 subscriber, I do appreciate it. I'm not trying to do this to make money. It's just a hobby for me. Again, shout out to D Amazing, Book Nice, Charlemagne Prime, Dan Who, Articulated Ninja, Anthony's Customs, you know, a lot of the toy photographers and toy reviewers. I look up to you guys because you are an inspiration to me. So I appreciate anybody who watches these videos, who enjoys them, who dislikes them. You know, I do appreciate you. So take care, guys. Hit the like, hit the dislike, leave a comment, subscribe, don't subscribe. But thanks for watching. Peace.